heard a brilliant Scottish story the other day, right? My pal's a magician. He does magic at weddings. He did a wedding a couple of weeks ago where the groom was wearing a kilt, and for the photos, he sat on the bride's knee and left a skid mark on her dress.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Phlava. The flavor today is Frankie Boyle's Most Hilarious Moments Part 2. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any future videos. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at Frankie Boyle's Most Hilarious Moments Part 2.
Now at Hampden, where you're not allowed to bring food into the ground, and they actually search you when you go in to make sure you've not got food on you.
Food on you.
It's nice to see we've got our priorities right, isn't it? What's this, sir, a knife? I hope you weren't planning on making sandwiches. We're a brutal culture, we really are. Did you see the story of the head that got washed up on a beach in Arbroath? And it was children that found it, which I thought was particularly sad. Because you know that there'll have been a point when they'll have thought that that was someone buried up to their neck in the sand. Then the next day all the limbs got washed ashore in a suitcase. The people of Arbroath were in shock. They'd never seen a suitcase before. I heard a brilliant Scottish story the other day, right? My pal's a magician. He does magic at weddings. He did a wedding a couple of weeks ago where the groom was wearing a kilt, and for the photos, he sat on the bride's knee and left a skid mark on her dress.
Wow.
Somewhere in there is an incredible advert for Daz. I was trying to think the other day of what is the shittest Scottish town, which obviously took me a while. But I decided it was Coat Bridge. Right, if you ever get a chance to go there, go. It's like Blade Runner without the special effects. To explain it to you, basically the town's pride took a bit of a knock recently when they found out that the people of Ethiopia were holding a rock concert for them. And there's a beautiful detail that I think encapsulates the place, right? Last time I was there, they had one takeaway restaurant, which is a Chinese, called Bon Appetit.
That's French.
I had a great thing the other day. Said that scientists are going to start treating alcoholism with LSD. That's going to make tramps very different people. Yes, fair change, pal. I've got a unicorn to feed. You heard this science thing that the human female has exactly the same pheromone scent as an orangutan female? It was news to me. I'll never wear a blindfold again. They told me she was a Geordie. Viagra's overrated, isn't it? Viagra actually takes half an hour to have any effect. I often find that in that time, the woman has managed to wriggle free. You ever heard this thing? That if you put a frog into boiling water, it will jump out. But if you put it into cold water, you heat the water up, the frog won't realise, and it will die. Or to put it another way, scientists have got a lot of time in their hands. Shall we have a go at curing cancer? No. I'm going to see how many fruit pastels it takes to choke a kestrel.
One-liners, eh?
Referendum up in Scotland, it was won by the No campaign and Alistair Darling. I thought it'd be good if when he won, Alistair Darling's eyebrows had finally turned into butterflies. And he wasn't even able to look surprised about it. David Beckham sent the people of Scotland an open letter. An open letter because he couldn't work out how to get it into the envelope. People said during the campaign that I was anti-English. I couldn't be more pro-English. I thought the best thing for independence would have been if England had won the World Cup. Because you would have been so unbearable that we would have to leave. Whatever happens next, I think it's important that Scotland does something that puts England on the back foot, something that England won't expect. And the last thing that you're expecting is for us to form an Islamic caliphate. Ah yes, independent Scotland, we can do this. Okay, we'll have to learn how to treat women slightly better, but we can change.
Slightly better. Slightly better.
I think people don't understand enough about international politics, do they? In Scotland, people think that NATO is just a nickname you give to a guy who lost a foot to diabetes. Keep up.
Keep up.
Ed Miliband came up for the referendum. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I don't think Ed Miliband will win the election. Because if he can't persuade his own face to do what he tells it to.
He has trouble controlling
Ed Miliband said he wanted to militarise the Scottish border. Can you imagine being a Scottish border guard, having to do cavity searches just to keep your hands warm? Holding back the English refugees at Newcastle. Newcastle being the first city in history that turned into a refugee camp and got less mental.
Oh, things are actually a lot more civilised now that we're ruled over by a horse militia.
Do you know what people in Scotland want? What they really want, in my experience, is they want transport to run normally in the winter through 3 feet of snow. That's all they ever moan about. Why isn't this train moving through the snow? But what you really want is for the pilot to come over the intercom and go, well, I've been told that it's not safe to take off, but I thought, let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. Told it wasn't safe to take off. Let's give it a go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Frankie Boyle's Most Hilarious Moments, Part 2. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for any future videos. Until next time. Deuces.
Won't you rub your fingers?